If you subscribe and turn on the notifications, you'll be ready for the second edition of it, which comes out in a week. There's a helicopter pilot that all he does for a living is fly in to Vancouver Island and other places where there's no logging roads, and he saw one vividly in detail.
They probably walked a good 500-600 feet.
Here we are beginning our 44-mile to the rim and back. It's called a rim to rim to rim. And you know, I heard that out of the 5 million people that visit this park, only 1% even go down in there. I think because it's kind of a grunt to get down there and back. But we're heading out now with a 50-pound pack and a 35-pound pack on our 44-mile journey. As he was coming up, a guy said, "Don't go in there, don't go in there."
I'll never let you slip away.
And here we begin.
And you don't have to be afraid. I will hold you till the sun comes crashing down. I'm yours until the end of time.
Wow, isn't that something, hon? I was told that it really helps to have these walking sticks, and boy, that's really true. Because it's a lot of steep down, you kind of sink to have those sticks. There's kind of an island promontory. These folks say we'll be in the dark for a long time because it's 6 miles left. Wow. Wow, what beautiful weather we had. I guess maybe in the desert it's sunny a lot, but I sure appreciate it. Well, we've really been hoofing it because those guys said we'd be 2 or 3 hours in the dark, so we've been trying to make up some time. Wow, this is something else. Hey, didn't you guys take our picture up there? Oh, yeah. Nice. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Well, here we are at Skeleton, and we don't see any skeletons yet. So you haven't found any skeletons, you guys? Here at Skeleton. Look at this, huh? Wow. Wow, and there she is. There's Colorado that is responsible for all this, way down at the bottom. guys are doing from the above rim. Oh, look, there's a cave up there. From the above rim, and they went clear down, and they're going on back. That's a pretty solid hike.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Miles.
14?
Yeah.
Nice. So have a great day. Those girls asked us if we had headlamps too, so it seems like the consensus is Mary and I are going to be doing this in the dark. Well, I can tell the evening shadows are starting to set. Well, there's some kind of little station down there. Hopefully we can find out how far we need to go. Woo-wee! Looks almost like some strange prehistoric beasts down there. Now here is unique vegetation that grows high and has a little thing on top.
My knees and my legs, they're shaking.
Kind of quivering.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, you know, we hike really far, and then I'm glad we have this stick, so it's gonna help us a lot.
I find my toes are kind of hurting from constantly restraining myself. I think without these sticks, it would be really unbearable.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful area over there. It's kind of interwoven with mossy. It's highlighted by moss. Well, I go different places to try to bring you these sights, and I hope you are enjoying them. Well, it's 4:44. Wow, there's the bridge we got to cross. We've been hoofing it and making some pretty amazing time rolling down this thing. We've been booking down this hill at least that fast, if not faster. Oh, thank God we're nearing the river where the brutal rock face that we came down is behind us. Oh, later. Going through this tunnel, and then there's a bridge to cross that river.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the most brutal things I've ever done in my life, coming down 4,000 feet of vertical drop with the steepest trail as that, with a 50-pound pack on. And although all of it was steep, this last half a mile was brutal, coming down the rock cliff. It's a good trail, lots of switchbacks. But man, if it wasn't for these, I wouldn't have made it. I'm sure glad I wasn't mic'd up, because every step was, And although we trained some, and I stay in pretty good shape as it is, we were not in the type of shape that was really ready for something like this. So my legs, I knew they were like Jell-O. with this 50-pound pack on, and yet I was constantly having to go 12-inch steps. And every step I was thinking to myself, all right, use the sticks and let's keep it together here, because as much as my legs were like jello, I knew that any false step could have buckled them and I could be down here needing a $3,500 helicopter to bring me back out. So we were both very pressed. It was a real challenge to get this far because it's the beginning of our voyage and my pack is full. Every day now will make it a little lighter, but that was something, wasn't it, hon? Mm-hmm. My friends have rafted this river. I used to be a raft guide, but this is one of the most treacherous rivers in the world. It's world famous for class 5 difficult rapids. Oh, it's such a nice sight to hit this bridge. Now the going is comparatively easy, and I'm hoping that within a mile we'll be to Phantom Ranch.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Well, they have a nice steak dinner for two down here at Phantom Ranch, but it's like $125. And with our budget, we're bringing along our little cool stove here. Just go ahead and screw that baby in. Turn it on a little bit. And off you go. When you're ready, hun, go like this. We're both walking like really old people. My beloved is up at 4 a.m. cooking rice. As long as she's got some rice, she's usually pretty happy. And me, I'm getting all my water bottles filled back up. It's really good water here. And I like emptied some of my Gatorade and Saudi water bottles and refilled them. There's no water at the next campsite, so we got to prepare water and liquid for the next 2 nights and for the 14-mile rim summit. So I'm gonna have another heavy day with all this water in my pack. I was sold on my cute little egg container, but looking back on it, that is not what you want in a 50-pound pack. I should have got dehydrated eggs. This is working out pretty good. The permit office did not have a Bright Angel camping pass, so we had to spring the $180 for this cabin. But since we got a late start after getting the permits and everything, it worked out pretty good, because our first day coming in late, we didn't really want to set up camp in the dark. The hike yesterday, we found out, was actually 7.5 miles. I can't imagine the logistics of putting together this nice little cabin 7.5 miles from the nearest road, but I do appreciate what they've done, even though it was $180. I don't know if you can really see how big that cottonwood actually is, but it's over 4 feet across. I'm feeling a good bit better today. I left my briefs and the soiled t-shirt and my socks at the last place, and then we ate a few things, so my pack is over 1 pound lighter, and I got it cinched down better. We were in such a race against darkness yesterday that I didn't even really have a chance to get it cinched down properly. We just blasted off. Okay, we've got just another 6.4 to Cottonwood, which is where we will set up camp, and then we'll make our ascent on the North Rim the next day without a backpack. To survive, this prickly bear kind of went south. Well, I wonder why those layers of sediment are vertical.
Sure, yes.
Wow, how did you get to the North Rim?
We came in from the north side.
Oh,
The
okay.
road is closed to vehicles, but
But you went ahead and hoofed the 40 miles or something?
you can get it on the forest roads within 15 miles.
Oh,
before
wow.
the park boundary.
Well, that's something. You guys look like you're in stunning shape.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your backpack.
Isn't that something? Every time I go around the corner, it's like, wow. The weather has been just stellar. Seems like there's a lot of mini Grand Canyons within the Grand Canyon. I find this just puts me so in the now because it's so incredible to look at. Very, very well maintained bridges and trails. You can tell a lot of people come down here. That's kind of neat, isn't it? You just hike through one after the other mini box canyons, and each is beautiful in its own special way. Now we're starting to gain a little bit of altitude. Look at that beautiful falls. That must be Ribbon Falls. I have rarely seen sky so blue. It's just a deep sapphire blue. Nice. My wife wrote, "I love you." That's really sweet. In areas like this in Glacier Park, I'd be hooting a little bit in case of a grizzly, but there are no real bears here in the park. They said the only thing you got to watch for a little is rattlesnakes and scorpions, and we haven't seen sign of either. If my son Abe was here, he'd come sliding down that rock. I know he would. Yeah, I'm still okay. The going down portions are much worse than the going up because it's those going down muscles that really burned yesterday. Rest stop. Doing pretty good today. It's an easy hike. Break time. So these maniacs came all the way from South Kaibab to Cottonwood, and it was pretty brutal, huh?
Yeah.
You were in pain, huh?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, you didn't get there till 7 o'clock. That's crazy. Tell me about your shoes there, bro.
Oh yeah, so coming down South Kaibab, we're about 3 miles down, and I start noticing the bottom sole's just flopping around. It's totally falling apart. I rip it off, and so then I'm kind of walking on skates with no tread.
Oh my
Finally make
gosh.
it all the way down to Phantom, 7 miles in, ranger station. He just gives me a bunch of screws and tells me, good luck, screw together. And it's held up, so.
Isn't that something? Well, I had some great climbing shoes made by On, and yesterday I noticed they were kind of ripped apart, so I went into a little consignment place and got these babies for 25 bucks, and they're working great.
Wish I had done that. And then we'll take care.
This looks like a plant out of Star Wars, and that one is a good 15 feet tall too. Hi, Mary. This looks a lot like a mountain in Glacier Park near the Two Medicine area. Okay, we got a sign coming up here. Looking forward to that. Yes, sir. Cottonwood to the right. Our campsite is called Cottonwood. I guess it's in reference to the only cottonwoods within quite a few miles. Home sweet home away from home. Although I'm consuming a lot of food, I haven't got number 2 for about 30 hours. I think that my body is burning up everything I'm sticking in it at this point. I know that the only trick I can apply to get my feet and calves in shape for the hike tomorrow for the 14 miles, 4,000 foot gain up to the North Rim is to apply a trick my son Abe taught me. He was a running back, and after a hard game when he was really beat up, he told me what to do is take an ice bath. Spot on. Hear that? Okay, I kept them in there at least 3.5 minutes till they were done. I wish I had them little runner's legs. I might not have to deal with this, but with these big running back legs, you can see where I was in for 3.5 minutes already. So now I will set the timer for another 2.5 minutes. And boy, this is kind of a cool place to take an ice bath. Look at this. Maybe I ought to get them knees in there too. Kind of painfully cold, but on the other hand, it relieves me. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He starts to still One of my favorite aspects of this is being completely off the grid. No cell service, no internet, no interruptions. Some people build their $1 million houses and have some great glass with pretty good views, but I think my little $18 campsite has a better view. The only time I ever kind of gave up on a mountain or a summit or an adventure was I was going up Mount Kenya, which is, I think, 17,369 feet. And the trail was going to be another 4 miles, but I looked up the mountain, something like this, and being a Montana boy, I thought, man, I can go straight to the top. At that time on the mountain, a sleet was falling, and the higher I went, it turned into a wet snow. I was a poor missionary. All I had was hush puppies, suede hush puppies with reasonably good traction, but nothing like a hiking shoe. But I've been climbing mountains since I was a kid, so I headed right up that baby. And it was like a chute going up the mountain. And I went up it probably 150, 200 yards. It was getting more and more difficult. And as I was going up it, I thought, man, I don't know about this. This is getting pretty sketchy. And then finally, I reached a point where there was no going forward. It was a bottleneck chute, rock climbing situation where even if I had a rope, I couldn't have gone further. So that is kind of a rock climber's worst nightmare because it's always harder going down than it is up. But in the sleet, with about a 40-pound pack on, I had to look backwards and try to get down that chute. It was a real touch and go situation, but I made it. I made it down the chute and I thought, okay, enough for blazing my own trail up Mount Kenya. I'm gonna stick on the trail and see if I can find my friend. 6 of us YWAMers started out, but after about 16,000 feet, the air is very thin and 4 of us got headaches and could not proceed. But Stefan Schul, a German climber, and myself decided to summit. So I went back to the trail, worked my way up the trail. By then it was sleeting and snowing on us, and I found Stefan. And he said, man, where you been? And I said, man, I tried to get up there myself, different way, it didn't work. He said, well, let's keep rolling here. So we go another 300 yards in the sleet. We sit down and I look at Stefan and I say, Stefan, I don't think I can go another foot. And I'm a pretty hard climber to stop. But after working my way up that ravine and having to come back down, I just didn't have it in me. And Stefan said, man, I've had it too. I don't think I can go forward. But we decided to pray. So we prayed. And when we prayed, I saw a picture of the Lord leading us forward with a climbing rope. And afterwards, I told Stefan, I saw like a picture in my mind's eye of Jesus leading us forward with a climbing rope. It was so cool. And he said, well, the Lord told me we'd be there in 10 minutes. Now, 10 minutes would be the final. On Mount Kenya, they have these little zinc huts that you stay in. You don't have to take a tent. They're not much, but they'll keep the rain off you. So we pushed on forward, and sure enough, in 10 minutes we were there. We stayed overnight at about 17,000 feet. My sleeping bag was damp because the rain had penetrated even my good North Face pack. My sleeping bag was damp, it was cold, and I could barely breathe. I remember all night long just zero sleep, not even 1 second or 1 minute, just getting as much oxygen as I could. We got up as soon as it was light. Stefan and I climbed a gravel mountain for only about another 700, 800 feet, summited Mount Kenya, and came on back. And the plan is to get up at 4 a.m. and head up the 4,000 foot ascent to catch the North Rim. So we can say we did a rim to rim, and then it'll actually be back to the rim. So a rim to rim to rim. That's our plan.
Well, I've been laying here all night without sleeping. It's just been a rough night. One of us broke our plate at the cabin, and it made it hard to boil water. So we are running low on isobutane. All of our stuff requires boiled water, so it's a little bit low on stuff to eat. A little bit low on water. There is no water here. And now it's 1:30. I think I might get up and go ahead and cook some hot food. Maybe it'll let me sleep a half hour before I leave. It's been pretty cold, and I keep putting extra layers on inside my sleeping bag. But the worst thing I'm dealing with is my swollen feet and extremely sore legs.
Well, this is not the part of the trip where you want to ask if you're having fun yet. It was a really rough night, to be honest. My left toe was swollen up about a third bigger. My left foot was swollen. My calves were in pain all night, even though I was taking Advil every 3 hours. But we're gonna see how far we can go. It's 5:20 a.m. The stars are out. It's pretty. Our legs are sore. I'm gonna do a Rocky thing and have a raw egg here because, well, our butane's getting kind of low. Here we go. Well, we're hiking under a nice half moon. I'm filming it for you up there. Well, we started at 5:30. Mary wasn't gonna come with me this morning, but she decided to come. By this unique tree, I'm stashing a bottle of water and some corn nuts for our return trip. Well, it's 6:55 a.m. and it's just getting light enough for my camera to begin to pick up some images. North Rim Trail, 7:14 a.m. Well, it's getting fun again. This amazing beauty. My legs are doing what they got to do. Mary, how are you feeling,
Are you
Vice?
asking about the truth?
Yeah,
Are you asking?
I'm asking the truth. Tell us the truth.
It's so tired. Straight. Oh man. We hike straight all day. Oh my gosh. Not since what? Friday, right?
Yeah.
7.5 miles.
Is everything sore?
Yes.
What's the most sore for you?
My both shoulder and my calf and my foot and my knees. They're all sore.
Oh, sore, baby. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. You're not alone.
When you look at your dream, the mountain looms unclimbable. Then you start to proceed, but the heights become unreachable. When it seems there's no way, you must remember Christ is the way and the life. It might not come today, but He makes all things beautiful in His time. So don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of your dream, no. I say don't let go of your dream. True comeback story. Young man living in the ghetto. All the kids called him dumb, but his mama said, listen to me, my son. You can be anything you want to be. God can fulfill your dream. The boy started to read and grew to be a famous MD. So don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of your dream, no. You can do all things through Christ. He will strengthen you with might. So quit talking and take some action. Only then will you find satisfaction. Yeah. Don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of your dream, no. Don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of your dream, no. Don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of your dream.
Well, I'm actually starting to enjoy myself again. This beauty kind of takes one's mind off the pain of the journey. I watch a lot of boxing. I like boxing, and a great champion can keep going when the body's burning up and only will survives.
Good.
So where are you guys coming from?
South Rand.
And when did you start?
Oh, 334. 334, that's right. That's right.
3:34 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow, are you like triathletes?
One of these. We're amateur hiker runners.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, good job, guys. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Look and be inspired, Mary. These guys are boogieing up there like it's nothing. What's up there, friend and back? Looks like, why did I go hiking with these two guys? That's an amazing pace in my gym, The Wave in Whitefish, Montana. I was watching the videos the bicycling machine provides, and I watched a couple of guys like that doing this, and I thought, whoa, I gotta do this. They make it look a lot easier than it actually is. Taking some inspiration from those guys. Picking up the pace. That's what we needed. Was a role model. When I was a cross-country skier, I would purposely ski behind the fastest guy we had for segments of the track. And it just kind of let me know that I am capable of doing that. Though not for the amount of distance that he was. Well, actually, when I was a cross-country ski racer, I was one of the fastest guys we had up until I was 17, when I broke my leg really bad. Look at that scar from there to there. Broke my femur right in half, tore my knee apart. And after that, my days of being in first place. Before that, I was in first place for 30 races in a row. I'm insisting that I do something. Because climbing like this burns up a lot of calories. Once I was in a 50-kilometer cross-country ski race. That's 33 miles. And I was feeling good, feeling strong, and I was just boogieing down the track. And they provide banana and hot cocoa for us in West Yellowstone every 2 miles, 3 miles. I thought, nah, I don't need nothing. I'm okay. I'm feeling good. I'm going to pass some of these guys. And about 2 miles later, I hit the wall. Called hitting the wall. And when I hit the wall, my whole body shut down. And I literally could barely put one ski in front of the other. The only thing that even kept me going was that I thought I would lose my goals if I don't. Only a few thousand feet to go, Mary. Just about another 2,500. She's cold and can't really do quite as well. Wow, look at this. I think if it was raining, you could hike along here and not even get wet. But don't fall off. Oohs and ahs just keep coming around every corner. There's fresh oohs and ahs, such as this fire. My sister is a realtor, and she just sold what's called the Castle of Creston. But it's nothing like the Castle of God. And the first rays of sunshine for the morning hit my face. That feels nice. What's nice, since we're coming down the same way, we can stash things. Now that the sun's up, I'm stashing my coat. What an engineering feat this trail in itself is. Cutting it right into sheer rock faces is almost equal to the engineering feat of going to the Sun Road. I'm feeling some renewed optimism that we will actually make it after finding that water stop at Manzanita. Looks to me like we may just have another 1,500 feet or so to go. Mary decided to let me press on ahead since I'm a bit faster on the uphill stretches. She was getting a little tired out, and I don't want to push her beyond her limits. So I'm gonna endeavor to make some time up to the top and come back for her. The white cliffs of Dover are in sight. I think I'm a mile and a half away. That's where I've been coming from. There's that little cave. And now just follow the winding staircase up to Shelob's lair, which is inside that cave there. And the only problem is I don't have the light of a Lendale with me. The only light I've got is the light of my cell phone. But fortunately, it's not a very long tunnel. And I don't see Shelob as of yet. All I can see are the cliffs of Dover. I must be nearing the top because there's some infrastructure. Looks like there's a toilet. It looks like there's water. So I don't know if I'm here, but I'm very close to here. 10 o'clock, I'm motating, I'm exhilarated, and the cliffs of Dover have some beautiful coloration. Did you see a young Filipino gal back there a little ways?
Yeah, I saw her.
Didn't I see you guys yesterday?
Yeah, you're the guy with the YouTube channel.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think we're about there. I'm pretty sure that's the rim right there.
Yeah, we are pretty close.
How's your buddy's shoe?
Oh, it's holding up, but my other friend, he fell into the river.
Oh my gosh.
Not all the way, but knee deep, and his shoes froze.
Wow. This morning or last night?
Yesterday, actually, when we were at Ribbon Falls.
Oh my gosh.
The creeks, and yeah, he ended up taking a dip in there, so he can't walk pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do to get out?
Well, he's able to walk, but
yeah,
he wants to save his energy and stuff, because his shoes are frozen. So.
Some trail yeah, I made it here to the North Rim. Well, here she blows. North Rim, COCONINO, Overlook. Victory! Look how lush the North Rim is. One would almost expect to see an elk. The stunning white cliffs of Dover, I call them, up at the top of the North Rim. Oh, God dropped his dinner plate. We wish you a Merry Christmas. There's my Christmas tree. Well, I just heard Mary call me, so I know she's okay. I think she made it another, possibly even a mile or 3/4 of a mile up the hill. While she was waiting, Mary wrote, "I love hiking when I'm in the mood." Now, I don't know if that means like a boxer saying, well, I love boxing as long as I'm knocking people out in the first 3 rounds. But we'll take it. We'll take it.
Hey, that's only a joke.
Well, Mary was going to stay way down there by that bridge, but she hoofed it all the way up here.
Yep.
She's a pretty good mountain girl, even though she does it kind of in a mule-like tradition.
I was running all the way in that ridge and right here trying to catch you. And even it's so hard to wait because it's going up. But I did my best to try to catch you. But
wow, she was running up this whole thing, trying to catch me. That's good. I like it when I like being chased by a pretty girl. Look at this great big giant boulder. Has some huge hooks melded into it. I'm thinking they may have had to somehow get this down here with a crane to anchor this edge. Thinking of it more carefully, there's no way you could get a crane down here, but they could have flown it in there with one of them giant Huey helicopters. I bet they did. The North Rim is pretty in a way that is not really stereotypical Grand Canyon because it's quite lush. Coming down is a little slow for me because all around the Grand Canyon there's all these steps. We've probably gone over 1,000 of these steps. And it's nothing with no pack like this. But coming down South Kaibab, which was steeper than the north rim, in my opinion, with a fully loaded 50-pound pack was almost an inhumane thing to do. I can see why they use mules to bring stuff down, because it's not made for a man, no matter how good a shape he's in, to bring a 50-pound pack down the South Kaibab. So my feet are swollen, my calves are swollen. I am not a geologist, so I don't know, but I'm very curious what would cause a 120-foot layer of sediment that is completely distinct from the other layers of sediment. I would guess maybe the flood of Noah, but as I said, I don't know. If any of you viewers know, please let me know. As I'm coming down the mountain on somewhat trashed calves and feet, I'm reflecting upon my biggest mistakes in this trip. Number one, not being more discriminating about packing my pack. I don't really need underwear for every day and shirts for every day. There's a big difference between a 50-pound pack and a 47-pound pack even. I don't really need real eggs and an egg container. And the biggest mistake was not knowing that there was water at Manzanita, because I packed a lot of water from our first night to Cottonwood, thinking I'd need it for this whole voyage and for 2 nights of camping. And you know, a lot of people get a little water purifier, but even just knowing that there was water would have saved me a lot of weight. There she is. Now, wouldn't it be a whole lot easier to just belay down this? Save a lot of steps. Just belay down this 2,400-foot cliff. Breathtaking is the word, my friends. Look at her go. Oh man, I wish I could do that. Woo-wee. There's the Devil's Diving Board. Woo! Tomorrow we have an 11.4 mile hike with backpacks, but there's not much elevation gain or loss. Today, had I gone all the way up to the parking lot, it would have been a 14-mile hike with a 4,000 vertical foot gain. As it was at least a 13-mile hike for me and 3,900 vertical feet at least in gain. Quite a hike. A little Parisian sculptor. Well, I'm pretty stoked and exhilarated and happy that we were able to do the hike today. We left at 5:30, got back at 4:40. I hiked over 13 miles. My beloved hiked over 10 miles. Plus she helped me with lugging some water and some snacks on the return part. So we're really, really happy that we made it. And there was a lot of negative to push through. I realized our butane burner was about out, had me worried, but then I thought it over and I realized we'd cooked rice, which is a time-consuming thing to cook. We'd boiled a hard-boiled egg. That's a waste of isobutane. I think if we're really careful to only use it on the mountain adventure meals and a little ramen, I think we can make it. But it was a hard go this morning, man, because I didn't sleep till about 20 to 3 or something, and then the alarm rang at 4:20. Seems like every force that was of the dark side was telling me, you're never gonna make it. Give up. Well, I'm the chef tonight. I'm making rice and chicken and Italian pepper steak. There's my grill.
69-year-old man. He's the most badass athlete in the world. Still lives in Jackson.
Wow.
Has been there since like 1969, and he is almost Bigfoot.
And he swears there's a Yeti, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't believe, and then my hunting buddy that is a Native American I've hunted with him for 25 years, gotten 2 big bucks with him. he said he saw one right in Columbia Falls going across a golf course when they were out golfing in the 90s. And so I know that he wouldn't lie to me. And then 7 other people on my video, they said they saw him, including, I run a store there called the Willows Huckland. And my wife was just serving people, and somebody came in last spring and said, I'm kind of freaking out right now because I just saw a Bigfoot in Glacier Park, and I don't believe in Bigfoot. She was a very level-headed insurance adjuster, and it was the day the park reopened after 4 months of being closed from COVID. And it just makes sense to me, you know. If I was trying to hide, where would I go? Closed National Park.
Oh my God, this is too good. This is too good. No way.
It's pretty
so you're
amazing.
in Montana.
Yeah, I'm in Montana. And
So you're by Glacier then? Or?
yeah, I'm a Hungry Horse, Montana. Our business name is Willows Huckleberry Land, Huckland for short.
I have not been up. So the whole time I moved to Durango, Colorado 3 years ago from Jackson. Yeah, I never made it up to Glacier when I was there because I was always just I loved hanging out in Yellowstone, and
yeah,
it's one of those places, and I think Montana's the same way. Like, you get somewhere and it's like, okay, you don't have to travel anywhere else because there's so many cool things to see.
Yeah.
And that you just get sucked into it. Like, I was sucked in to Wyoming for like 10 years straight. Just like, I don't need to travel. And then towards the end of it, I started traveling, and then I was like, well, that is a little bit different, but still, like, those places like Montana, Idaho, you don't have to leave when you live there.
You know, Glacier Park is so amazing. One of the wonderful hikes I did was starting in Logan Pass. That's the very height of going to the Sun Road. And you get a few backcountry permits. And then you hike all the way to Canada through Waterton Lakes and everything. And you end up in Canada. And it was just such an insane, wonderful hike.
Yeah, that'd be a journey.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh.
we've got a couple that we met. They ran all the way down from the South Rim. What time did you start?
I don't know, it's like 11.
I didn't wear my watch today.
Oh, you started at 11 and
We got
it's
down
like
here in like 50 minutes, I think.
12:30.
No,
That is
it
crazy.
was like 55.
No, to the bridge.
55 or something, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
is insane. Now, what are your names?
My name's Meredith Edwards.
Jeremy Lieber.
And Meredith Edwards here, she's an ultra runner and she does it professionally. Tell us a little bit about your ultra running.
Yeah, I like to run anywhere between 100K to 100 miles, and I don't live far from the Grand Canyon, and so it's always a treat when I get to come here and spend a couple days training and running around.
And tell us just a little about your filming worldwide.
Oh, yeah, you know, I had a series called Run Around the World where I got to travel to different countries and interact with different cultures, and it was a really good time, and running's a great way to experience the world.
And she filmed in China, she went to the Philippines,
Middle East.
What was the most interesting of all the countries?
My favorite one.
If you do this trip, you'll want to know that down here at Phantom Ranch, they have a little dispensary. We found some for only 75 cents, so we bought, I think, 7 bags. Yeah, lemonade's $5, but with ice, it's worth it. Well, it took Mary and I just 3 hours and 40 minutes to do the last 7 miles because I was not filming. We were just trucking along. My pack's not so heavy now, and we made reasonably good time, and now we're going another 4.5 miles to Indian Gardens Campground. I saw a guy limping along, a young man coming back, and stopped to check, and he'd sprained his ankle. I offered him some Advil and offered him to carry some of his stuff. He declined, but I prayed for him. So I'm hoping I planted a little seed in that young man's life. Well, here's a gentleman that takes care of these mules and brings them up and back down the canyon. What do you carry mostly with these fellows?
The guests.
Oh,
Yeah, these are the guest mules.
Oh, okay, these ones actually carry the guests.
Yeah.
And I saw another pack train that looked like they were carrying mostly...
Those are all the supplies needed down here.
Oh, okay.
So they bring all the supplies that needed down here, like air conditioner, heaters.
Nice.
Whatever needs down here, they pack it in.
And how much can a mule carry?
200-pound maximum.
Oh, 200 pounds. So if a guest is over 200 pounds, what do you do?
Yeah, they can't go.
They can't go.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting. Is it true that a mule can't actually breed, that they're a crossbreed between a horse and a donkey and they can't reproduce?
Yeah, they can't reproduce because of
Interesting.
the chromosome.
Interesting.
Even, odd number. So
Nice. Well, thank you. What's your name?
Simon,
Simon.
Ashley. Yeah. So,
Simon says. All right,
I've been a guide here 11 years.
11 years. Wow.
Yeah, so
Did you ever have an unfortunate incident that was
I don't recall.
nice? Well, that's why you're
Yeah,
still
but,
working after 11 years.
It's always a really awesome run. You just gotta, watch the guests.
Yeah.
How they sit in the saddle. Some of them are they shift saddle. If you catch them right away,
Yeah.
incidents don't happen. Yeah.
Nice. I did a rim to rim, and to me that South Kaibab trail seemed a lot steeper than the North Rim trail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never been up towards the North Rim yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
But we're gonna exit through the Indian Garden,
Yeah.
so that's another one. Have you ever been on that one?
Yeah. That's where we came in.
Oh, that's where you
Yeah,
come in.
Yeah.
That looks to me like it might not be as steep as the
It's not
Kaibab.
as steep until you get to the last ending.
The ending's
Yeah,
really
the
steep.
ending part. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Simon. You have
You're
a great
welcome.
day.
You have a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of them lose 30, 40 pounds just to do the ride.
Yeah.
That's
And,
something.
right, and it's the tall guys,
Yeah.
and if you're tall, your bones are,
Yes.
heavier.
I have a friend that does some mixed martial arts, and he says some guys will lose 25, 30 pounds for the weigh-in.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that's something. Well, now we are trying to find our way to the Indian Gardens campground where we will stay tonight. And we walk across this bridge, across the mighty Colorado here. And we just asked the ranger if this is the right way, and he said, yeah, I think it is, but I don't know. I've been down here 21 times, all by helicopter, he said. He was an older gentleman. That should be enough to make a whitewater raft and salivate, and there's plenty more on the Colorado. Said we got a lot of elevation to gain before we get there. Looks like it's getting dark. I hope this isn't another one of those go by the moonlight scenes. But I have found that we can go by the moonlight as long as we know where we're going. When I was a raft guide, my boss got stuck in one of these little back eddies like that. And it was scary. It was snowing and he couldn't get out for 3 or 4 minutes. Well, hopefully we are on the trail to the Indian Gardens. It wasn't exactly a sign. Oh, look at that big rock. Except the sand is getting in my shoe. I can feel it already. That is not an extra weight and much care to have on board. This trail goes by the Colorado, for a while at least. By the angle this water is descending, I bet you there's some good rapids. This is on the bucket list of many serious rafters because it's one of the premier whitewater floats in the world. I was a raft guide on the Middle Fork of the Flathead River for about 1.5 years. And the rating system for rapids is Class 3, a good canoeist could probably get through most Class 3. Class 4, that's getting pretty gnarly as a rafter. Class 5 is very dangerous. This may be a Class 5 rapid. You go into it riding the tongue. There's probably 6.5 foot waves there. There's a hole you gotta miss here. 6.5 foot waves, but there's a rather treacherous drop right there that could be an 8 foot trough. And then you get shot into a situation where the majority of the current is taking you to some very dangerous boulders. And that's what would make this a Class 5, in my opinion. Our significant rapids like this had names, such as Bone Crusher, Jaws, CBT, could be tense. I bet you this is a named rapid. Glacier Park has a lot of signs telling you how far your destination is. This doesn't have a lot, but we are glad to see this sign. I'm stopping to take the sand out of my shoes. I don't need that weight nor friction. There's that slightly swollen left foot and swollen big toe and slightly swollen calf. But hey, I'm not on a mule. Here's the Indian heading to her garden. Good job, hon. Now, I don't know where that green stone came from. It almost looks like jade. Okay, let's play zigzag. Here's some more of that beautiful green stone. This trail goes up the prettiest little stream. Friends, I was not exaggerating about having done 1,000 of these steps. These are very low steps. Some of the steps are 2 foot or better. And someday yonder, I will never more wander, but walk on streets as pure as gold. Onward and upward. At the last potato chip break, my wife told me, "You are so slow." It's like Escalito telling Nacho, "You are too fat." But I wonder if I am so slow, why I beat her to the North Summit by 1.5 miles. Come on now. Talk to me, somebody. As beautiful as they are, so far the views have not been quite as intense, except for the river itself. Hi, Mary. Hi, little speedster. She's staying ahead of me because right now my mountain house farts are nothing anyone in their right mind would want to be behind. The corner, it's looking pretty good. There's that same little stream we were crossing, and it's cutting its own mini Grand Canyon. This rock must be a little more prone to erosion than some places. Black Lives Matter. Hey Scott, you're too much, man. Well, honey, if we don't make the campground, we can sleep right there under the rock with the scorpions. Look, it's a perfect spot. I'm going to remember this because seriously, I think you'd be very comfortable. The snake hiding. You're ever the optimist. Well, here we are at Indian Garden. The reason it's called such is because this is like an oasis in the midst of arid country. And it was farmed seasonally by native people for centuries. Lord, we thank you for entering into this sacred ground. And ask your blessing on all the generations. Indian Gardens campsite is in a lush area near wildlife. It's a good muley buck. Some married couples only campsite. Well, I think this is my favorite campsite yet. Under a nice big tree. Well, I'm hoping that we have enough isobutane to cook our last 3 ramen. I planned the food pretty good. I still got some left. Man, it looks like she's going to Antarctica this morning. Well, here we go at day 5. Neither of us slept for about 3 or 4 hours. I think we were just sore and
the ground's hard and the deer are tromping around all night. Well, we finally got some sleep and we're ready to go. The ground here was much nicer than at Cottonwood. The ground at Cottonwood was so hard that when I needed to level up my little stove, I took a metal implement and tried to gouge the ground even 1/8 of an inch, and it wouldn't. It was like a rock. But here it was kind of soft and it was a little more comfortable. Well, we were really blessed with perfect weather, and it was a spiritual time. When we pulled into this campsite, it was actually for a group, but it was about dusk, and I knew probably no more hikers were out there, so we went ahead and camped here. The ranger came by and said, yeah, it's okay, there's nobody else coming in. And she said, what's the name on the permit? And I said, Willows, like the willow tree. She said, oh, wow, my name is Oak, like the oak tree. We're headed out on the Bright Angel Trail. Another beautiful day. Mary has 2 radio channels on her dial. The one just came out. She says, oh my God, we're going all the way to the top up there again. And the other is, we can do this. This is no problem. We got this. It looks as though snow has fallen here, but there has been no snow. So that's some kind of calcite deposit. So you made the 200-pound quota, did you? Yeah. Hi. I'm thinking we may have only 1,500 more vertical feet to go. Mary's doing well. This is her first major backpacking camp out. Yeah, when we're at the top, we're there. Now this is something new I haven't seen. Ladies in dresses hiking on down. How y'all doing today? Good. Good. Mary's leading the charge on the homeward stretch. Like we're nearing the level of the rim. I can see we got a long way to go. Well, here, 1.5 miles down on the Bright Angel, there's a rest house. And they do have places in the park for you to call 911. Someone told me the last mile is the steepest. I can see that that may be true. They have the White Cliffs of Dover over here too. Well, we're almost done with the 3rd rim. I'm feeling strong, exhilarated, and able. Though the body cries out with protest during such a hike as this, all the while you are getting stronger. And at least the heart-lung area is improving, even if the feet are getting more sore. I feel like I might be ready for a cross-country ski race, because you do a lot of poling here too. They say the rim is holding down there. Well, here we find a mountain ram in the thicket, just like Abraham when he was offering Isaac. He found a ram in the thicket. And Isaac said, hallelujah. Now we know we're getting pretty close, because we're starting to see people probably on hiking for a long distance. Almost there, babe. Well, I just saw a little bird. I was gonna say, you cheater! You dirty rotten cheater! Woo, getting almost there.
Almost to the very top. This is about how close to the very top I got on the other side. You know, just a little ways to the visitor center. Woohoo! Well, we just completed a rim to rim to rim. 43 total miles, 5 nights, and about 1,500 feet of elevation gain, including the various elevation gains in the trail itself.
Oh, thank God we made it. We're done.
Wow, we are back to the parking lot. That was quite an adventure, and I'm feeling good and strong because of it. People that haven't done it have no idea the will that it takes to actually complete it. Just because you gotta pack so much food. I was about right on the food though. I just got one Mountain House dinner and a couple packs of potato chips. Here we are in the car. Woohoo! Well, I did my first major backpacking trip when I was 9 years old. It was a 40-mile trip through Glacier National Park. And seeing those wild grizzly bears up there by Granite Park Chalet, it just got me good. So by the time I was approaching 12 years old, I worked for about 5 or 6 weeks to save up for this North Face Moraine pack. And I've had it for like 45 years, and it's been an incredible pack. It's been on some world-class expeditions with me, like this one. Also been to the top of Mount Kenya, and I've never had any trouble with it. It's very simple in design, very durable, and I don't know if you realize, but North Face packs are guaranteed for life. In fact, I think all their stuff is. One time I had a zipper go out, and I just went, sent it back in, and they sent it back fixed. So go North Face for all your stuff. It's outlived about 4 dogs, and I'm still trucking with it. We went down that is the steepest one. We went 7.5 miles to Phantom Ranch. That's where I had the biggest pack and my legs were really jello. Next day, we hiked 7 miles to the Cottonwood Camp, and we set up our camp there. It was really cold that night and the ground was rock hard and we barely slept at all. The next day we began at 5 a.m. to make the ascent on the North Rim. Here we found water at Manzanita. I wish I had known that. It would have saved me a lot of pounds. So we continued on up to the North Rim. Mary got tired about here. I went on by myself, and I made it to about right there, almost to the actual parking lot. I came back, Mary got tired of resting and waiting, and she ran up the mountain after me, and we met about here. And we came back to Cottonwood for another night on the rock-hard ground. The next day, we backtracked back to Phantom Ranch. Because I was not filming, we hiked fast. The 7 miles took us only 3 hours and 40 minutes. Then we crossed the Colorado River, hiked along the river a little while, and then cut up on the Bright Angel Trail, and we camped at the beautiful lush Indian Gardens. The next day, we did the majority of the 4,000 vertical feet